it's time for a chilli update. Some of them are a little bit leggy, but you know, not too bad, not too bad. I don't have a great lighting setup or anything like this. So these have been on the south facing window with like a little bit of foil sort of tucked around them. It's just like a little bent bit of card with some foil stuck to the front of it, just as like a little reflector around the back of it, just so they get as much as possible. And I have got a couple of little tiny LED lights, but they're not really fit for purpose. So, you know, it's just a token gesture really. But they're doing okay, I don't mind them, I think they're alright. I've got some which are more ahead than others, as you'd expect to see, and I've got actually some that they've not shown at all and some that I've actually re-sown. Let me just show you a little close-up of how these look at the moment, because it's been, I think I said it were about 5 weeks. Just have another count up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4.5 weeks, yeah, 4.5 weeks since these were sown, and I've got the aubergines and the sweet peppers as well. So we'll have a little close-up and see how these are looking. So here we go. So as you can see, very variable germination and quite different levels of growth for all of them really. So the red stick ones, the KN, I've wrote down that those were showing in the first week. So great germination on those and strong growth. Like I say, they're a bit leggy, but when we pot them on, we'll pot them on a little bit deeper. The orange stick, that one's the Medina chili, which is quite similar to a KN. It's quite a long one. Those were saved seed and they took a bit of time to germinate, but they're coming through quite nicely now, and I've got 3 out of 4 showing, so that's all right. The bluey purple stick, those are the purple gusto, and all 4 of those are growing on really, really lovely. And I think that seed's 3 years old, is that? So it just goes to show that, you know, the seeds do last a reasonable amount of time, really. But yeah, they're definitely ready for potting on, because we've got, oh, we're getting his 5th and 6th leaves on those now. So yeah, definitely ready for potting on. Yellow, the Anaheim, unfortunately a bit of a no-show, so we'll see if we can re-sow those. And the Poblano, that one there, a couple of really nice ones, that's great, is that? So I don't really mind if I don't have to re-sow any more of those. I'm quite happy if I get these growing and keep them over the line. I'm alright with those. So this little tray here, I only had 4 regular jalapeno seeds left, so I sowed them all individually. And I've had 1 that didn't start, but the 3 others, again, really nice, strong, fast growth on those. So, yep, pleased with those. And now these 2, the orange and the yellow, those are the Puster Gold sweet pepper. So these can stay in this for a little bit longer. They're all right in their own little modules. I'm not going to do anything with these today, and these need extra sets of leaves on them before you really want to start messing with them and putting them on anyway. So I'm just going to leave those as they are. And these are the aubergines. So the Galeen F1 is the one that's got the 2 blue sticks per module. So I think I must have only had 3 seeds of those, and I've got 2 growing quite nice and strong, and one of them that's a little bit behind, and then a rogue, I don't know what going on there, we'll get rid of him. A little interloper. And yeah, we've had a misfire on that one, but these others with the, just 2 of them then on those single sticks, those are the early long purple, the thin aubergines. They're doing great, yeah, really happy with those, they're looking nice. Now I must say, after I sowed these originally, I caved in and I bought some more aubergine seeds. I mean, I was getting into a position where I needed to get some for next year anyway, because I'd used all the Galeen ones up. Our friend on the Potty Mouth Garden Club Discord channel, Ian from Grown Local, if you have a look on his website, he's got seeds for sale and some other things, some microgreen kits and things like that. He had one called meatloaf, aubergine meatloaf, and it's quite interesting, because all these ones I'm growing are different shapes. The Galeen is like a regular, what you'd imagine a regular aubergine to look like. The long purple's quite a long, skinny one. These, they're like a bit of a butternut squash almost. They're quite like a teardrop, sort of dumpy shape to them. So that's quite fun, you know, if I get these caught up. So yeah, 2.5 weeks behind the others of those. But I think I put 4 in there and I've had 3 again come up. So yeah, not bad. Not quite ready for potting on or anything yet, those. I'll just let them grow on quite happily in here, but more aubergines, eh? Right, so these ones, these are sweet peppers as well. And we've got the California Wonder, so they're growing quite nice and strong as well, looking good. They're ready for potting on really are those. This one's the Corno di Toro Rosso, the long red sweet pepper. This had really poor germination on, and actually sowed 4 more seeds in there, and now we've ended up where we've got one that's good, one that's catching up, a couple there, and there's actually a little tiny one just here. These have struggled a little bit, I was quite surprised, but we've got something, we've got a couple that are going, so you know, it's not a total loss. But yeah, we're quite surprised with those, a little bit disappointed, but this is what it's like, isn't it? You do get some variance on the success of your seedlings, and it's just part and parcel of it really, isn't it? And we can see, I don't know whether it's picking it up, but on this stem there's some tiny little roots just coming off the side of it, so we'll pot these on quite nice and deep, probably up to where it changes from sort of purple to green, and just see if those roots will grow out, and because you know they'll help support the plant, it's going to give it more nutrients. These are the hots. So these were sown, well, these are probably getting on for 6 weeks ago really, these, because they were ahead of all these other ones. But we've got orange habanero this side, and these are the red Scotch bonnet seeds, and these were saved seed from last year as well. And these, they've done quite well, they germinated well ahead of the orange habaneros, but a couple of them are looking a little bit dodgy. So I don't really know what's going on with those. Got a couple of sort of withered leaves, but I've got 3 that are looking really good. So those are ready for pricking out and potting on today as well. And that might sort out the situation, whatever's happening inside here. These were germinated in the little propagator, and the heat map was set to about 25 degrees at first, just to get them going and get them woken up, because you know the heat loving plants, they do like a lot of heat. But once they started showing, I did turn it down to about 21, just so that it slightly maybe limited the growth, because I've got quite poor light, and the light levels, you know, they're ever increasing now, but they were quite poor, you know, February when I first sowed them. If you give them too much heat and not a lot of light, they start growing on quite quickly, but they start reaching for the light and they can end up even more leggy. So you can limit it a bit by growing them on a little bit cooler, perhaps. I mean, it'll slow them down a bit, but that's what you want, because then you want the light levels to be increasing. And it's kind of like you've got to engineer the levels of both of them the same, so that they're kind of optimal, I suppose. So if you were continuing to grow them on quite hot, you'd need a lot more light to them, but I don't have that. So, you know, you've got to play to your strengths, haven't you, sometimes, and just sort of work it so it suits the setup that you've got. So the ones that are ready for pricking out and potting on, I'm going to do those now. And I do need to give them a bit of water first, because I must admit I've been a little bit tight with the watering, just to try and limit the, you know, the damping off. When it's a little bit too wet is the compost, and then you can get fungal growth, and you find your seedlings just keel over where the stem's just rotted through. So yeah, they are needing a little bit of moisture of these. And everything that I pot on, it will get a little coloured stick of its own as well, just to keep going with my little method that I've got. So we'll do that now. Seed mix. So what have I got in here? Can I remember what I did? So in here I've got normal compost, just sort of regular, I can't see what it says on the bag, it's over there but it's folded up. Yeah, regular compost. A little bit of vermiculite in there as well that I found. I mean, not too much, I've just sort of eyeballed it and tipped it in. There's about probably 20-25% of the original seed starting mix that I made up as well, which had the coir leaf mould and the sand in it too. So yeah, just 5 things really: compost, coir, leaf mould, sand, bit of vermiculite, because I want it to hold just enough moisture really and have a little bit of extra nutrient. Now they're starting growing on like proper little plants, and they've used everything that the, you know, the seed had to give them. I do want them to get a little bit of nutrient, but I don't need to be giving them, you know, the moon on a stick kind of thing at the moment, because I do want them to start filling the roots out and growing on nicely, and I don't just want them to become weak and pappy little plants, you know, by mothering them too much. So yeah, sort of half kind of nutrient compost, I suppose, really. And plenty of stuff that'll drain as well, just so that they're not sat in too much water, because I know the chillies don't like that, and the aubergines don't either. You can water aubergines too much. So I'll get this in my little tray and we'll get some of these potted on. I'm going to make a terrible mess here, I know I am. I'm going to be vacuuming up, aren't I, afterwards. It's always one's round edge, isn't it, that you struggle with. Can't see what I'm doing on that one, can you? I'm going to have to move it and pop it to the side of me. Yeah, there, you can see now. Oop, there's a worm. Is he gone? Yeah, got him. This compost has been in the house a while as well, just to warm up. The seed starting stuff was already in the house right from day one, really. It's been in the kitchen in its little tub. And I brought the bag of compost in as well, just to warm up, just so that everything's nice sort of ambient kind of temperature, because we don't want to shock the little roots, do we? Let me know if you've potted your chilies on yet and what varieties are you doing, because I mean there's that many of them, isn't there? It's always really nice to know what the people are doing. And did you do them in your spare bedroom and get it all over the floor like I'm doing? Oops. So just before you say she's mad, she don't use little plant labels. Look, I'm using it as a prick her outer, aren't I? We've got some nice roots on there. Yeah, that's good. Go. So all those are cayenne, so they're all going to want a little red stick of their own, aren't they? There we go. 4 little red sticks and no writing out plant labels. Not bad, eh? I've upgraded to yellow pencil. Right. That's a lovely little one. Beautiful little roots on that. These ancho poblano seeds, they were gifted to me from my friend Mel, and she's on the Potty Mouth Garden Club Discord group, and she's got an Instagram as well, because she's an allotment holder, and I'll link her Instagram account below, because she's been very, very generous and she sent me a lot of seeds and I very much appreciate it. So thank you, Mel. This looks really, really lovely. Lovely little seedling. Yeah, please go and check out Mel's Instagram and give her a follow. Purple Gusto next. I really like this one. It's a beautiful plant. Is this lovely dark purple jalapeno like pods on it. So much root on that. It's beautiful. I struggle to get it in the little pot. There we go. Get in there, little friend. The orange habs and the red Scotch bonnet. Now, I did actually write on a little, you can hardly see because it's clear, I wrote on a little label there what were what. I didn't give them a stick code, so if they're going in here, they're going to have a stick code, aren't they? So we'll come up with something. These orange habanero seeds, they were a gift as well from another Potty Mouth Garden Club person and Instagrammer Andy, so I'll link his below as well, and yeah, give him a follow too and check out his Instagram. And now red Scotch bonnet. I think when they, when they say that the chilli plants like to fill out the roots before they put a lot of top growth on, I think it's fair to say that that's true, looking at some of these, because this is a really tiny seedling. It's only got one true leaf and a really tiny one coming, aside from its little, cotyledons, its little baby leaves, but it's got a right root ball on it. Honestly, let me show you. Can I see? There's a lot of roots there really for this tiny little plant. Cute. Right, that's it. That's as far as I can get with them today. There's one or two of them gone in here that it were a bit premature really, they've not got the true leaves coming out yet, but they were so close to some of the others that I did want to pot on that I thought, rather than try and settle it back in the tray again, I'll just bung it in here and just see what happens, and what will be will be. But yeah, that's a nice little job done then. Those can start growing on and getting the roots to fill these modules now. And then these other spaces will fill up when these others are ready for it. Let me show you something, if I can find it. Oh, they'll be in these ones. Yeah. Lovely, yeah. One other thing that I just wanted to share with you as well, another little Potty Mouth Garden Club thing that's, going to happen this year is a few of the folks are sowing the same tomato. It's another one from Grown Local, from Ian. And I'll put the link, as I say, to his website below, so you can have a look at all the seeds that he's got. And they're really reasonably priced. And I will put a link straight to this one as well, just in case you want to grow along. But there's a variety called Tomato Black Moon F1. And a few people are going to be sowing this, and I know it's a little bit of a, you jump on the social media thing and everybody wants to sow the same thing, and there's popular things from year to year, but it's going to be quite interesting to compare how people's plants grow compared to how mine are going to grow and the rest of it, and see what people all think of the flavour, when we've grown the same thing. So yeah, if you want to grow along, check it out. Yeah, Black Moon F1. But I will put a picture up and I'll put the link below. And don't forget to check out Potty Mouth Garden Club, the live streams on a Monday night at 7 o'clock as well. And yeah, we'll have another update on these soon and see how they take off, hopefully. I've not wrecked any of the roots, and I've been delicate enough and they'll all grow on all right, and keep away the fungus gnats and that kind of thing. But yeah, these are going to go back downstairs in the little covered propagator on the south facing window, and hopefully they'll all survive and be okay. And when my little aubergines are ready, my little meatloaf ones, those will get potted on as well. And thank you for watching again, and see you for the next update.